So there's
right. No, I mean,
fear
it's
and
a social mark.
intimidation and a sense of power. So I think a lot of when your white friends say, oh, you're making a big thing out of this, you know, this is shit. If he want to fuck you, fuck him. He wants you to call him a nigga. It's just a fad. It's just a little game. Go on and call him a big black nigga. Take it and just forget about it. You're making this, you're analyzing this, you're going way too deep with it because they white. That's it. They don't have to deal with the same struggle and the pain, and they don't have to deal with discrimination.
I mean, and that's what I always thought. It was that it's just, I don't think they don't possess the knowledge to understand just the linguistic violence I was enacting because, you know, words can be injurious. And, I mean, words, you know, there's a reason why, you know, people refer to words sometimes as salvos. You know, I mean, they are arrows. You know, words do pierce one's skin. You know, words do hurt. And and because, you know, I knew it was linguistic violence I was enacting, and I knew that, you know, that he enjoyed that I was verbally whipping him as he was, I guess, physically dominating me, you know, and...
Are you saying this from a place of hatred?
No, I was just saying this because I was just thinking, well, if this is what you need, then here. But, I mean, even saying it was hard for me, and I always thought, you know, he probably thought I never said it convincingly enough. Because,
he
you know,
wanted to see and feel the rage in you.
But I could never give it, right.
So he wanted to have this to be an antagonistic, like you provoking him to fuck you in the ass. He wanted you to say, call him a big black ass nigga, like you are hating his blackness, and you are antagonizing him, and you are provoking him. You're challenging him as a white male, so you will force him to become violent and aggressive towards you and punish you and subjugate and humiliate you by taking your ass from you. So he wanted this to be an aggressive, confrontational rape scenario sex act.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's basically what it is. And, I mean, you can see, I mean, anyone who knows, you know, the history of slavery in this country could see why I was uncomfortable with it.
So you saying he wanted to make it look like, look, you started this shit with me, white man. You started calling me all kind of goddamn big black-ass niggas. So you forced me to enact violence on you, and the most effective way I know that I could subjugate you and punish you was to rape you, to brutally... subjugate you, humiliate you, and then make you scream with anger as well as ecstasy, fuck me, black nigga. You saying that's the kind of dynamic he wanted to set up, but you couldn't completely give it to him because of your guilt, and you felt like you like this guy, he's a nice guy, you really want to establish something with him, you think he's hot, so you didn't see hatred of black skin when you looked at him, but you're saying, actually, this would have turned this motherfucker on more.
I mean, he even recently, when we talked, he proposed that I do this, and that as I would be screaming this, he would be slapping me.
So you said at one point, did he want to play a role where he wanted you to insult him or act like y'all were playing slave master roles, and you had to rise up against your slave owner and rape him and beat him?
But I don't think he didn't put it in those terms. He just wanted me to, you know, sit on a couch with him and scream those words, and then as I would be screaming them, but at the same time begging for it, he would be hitting me.
So before y'all actually went into the sex act, he wanted y'all to be on the couch, create a fucking confrontation where you screaming, calling him all kind of big black niggas, and he doesn't like the fact that you call him big black nigga, so he wanted to attack you because you keep calling him a nigga and slap you and beat your ass and shit, and then you keep calling him a nigga and you don't stop, and then it escalates into a goddamn rape.
Basically.
See what I'm saying? See, that's what I'm talking about. It's like you did not project the energy of hating him for his blackness, so he did not take it as an insult. He wanted to create a role because he hates his own goddamn blackness for you to provoke, bring the nigga up out of him, bring the ghetto hating nigga up out of him by you continuously calling him these kind of things, to have you to force him or to have him to say, you forced me to go there because you kept on insulting me, and I asked you to stop, and I slapped you to try to get you to stop, and you still wouldn't stop. So I raped you. So, see, that would have made him come harder, basically, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
And I'm just wondering now that you notice that he wants you to show this kind of rage and hatred for black skin.
Right, but
and
I got...
saying you can't, but yet you still indulge. And see, I want you to look at yourself.
Well, I mean, the reason why, I mean, like I said, I would do it. I mean, it never escalated. I mean, that was just a fantasy he proposed a week ago when I was speaking to him. But I never could do it with rage. It was just simply, I would just say it, because, there's a point when someone's fucking you so hard in your ass, you'll say anything to get them to come, because you just want it to stop. Because there's a point where anal sex does hurt. I mean, for those of us who don't have it every day, I mean, I know there are people out there who have it every day, and so for them, like, God knows someone could probably place 5 dicks in their ass and they would still love it, But, I mean, for someone like me who's not having it every day, who, has, who is, I guess, does maintain some standards, isn't allowing just every man to go in his ass, there's a point where it hurts, and, so he would say it, and I would think, okay, I need him to come because I need him to get out of my ass.
So you would try not to say this, but the longer you held it, he couldn't come, so he got frustrated and kept trying to force you to say this.
Yes. And I never said it with rage. It was always, I would just whisper it because I was scared my neighbors would hear.
You didn't want your neighbors to hear you calling that man a big black nigger?
Well, I don't know. I mean, is that are those the words you want your neighbors to hear from your apartment? I mean,
I wouldn't care. I mean, if that's what you want, if that's both of you agreed to do this, but I'm just saying now that you know and you're saying that you don't want to do it, I just was saying look at yourself to see why do you keep attracting and engaging these types of men that only want to use you for their sick racist fantasies and self-hatred fantasies.
I think it recurs just because, because this is something that is informed by social forces, it's just I tend to be of a particular type, and I think I'm attracting a certain group of people who are dealing with real social pain.
But does that mean that you have to engage them on this level? No.
Well, no, and this is why lately, when I was depressed, I was doing it because I didn't think I deserved better. But now I've noticed, and we were talking the other night, and I told you about the guy who works out at the gym just, down the street. And he stopped by once, and, we had sex, and, it was fine. And then I asked him, oh, so have you met a lot of people through this website? And he told me, well, I heard about this through the guys with whom I play basketball at the gym. And I'm thinking, okay, so that's interesting. So you and a bunch of heterosexual guys are at the gym playing basketball, and so when you're in the sauna afterwards, relaxing, you're talking about all the white guys you've met online and that you're fucking, and so you decided to find your white guy online that you can fuck who lives near the gym, probably because you tell your girlfriend or your wife that you're at the gym playing basketball, but then you're trying to bust a nut immediately afterwards.
You saying these are black men that you see at the gym, got girlfriends and wives, and they in the room, sweat room with their boys, talking about how they find white boys to fucking suck at the gym and online, and then they go home to their wife and their girlfriend.
Well, that happens. I mean, yeah, that happens. I'm
not saying you say all black men do this, but you say
no. But I mean,
this.
the one man who, I met him once, we had sex, and I asked him, have you met a lot of people online? And he told me, well, some of my guys, my boys that I play basketball with, and I asked, like, are they straight? He's like, yeah, we're all straight, You're
straight, but you fuck white men in the ass.
Right. And they told him to go to this website because I guess they've all been able to find, I guess, submissive white boys they can all fuck, and so that's how he found me. And then the second time he calls, and I ask him, so where are you? Because he's on the phone asking me what I'm doing, and it's, about 10:30 p.m. I mean, why else is someone calling at 10:30 p.m.? I mean, we all know why they're calling. And then I tell him, well, I would need like an hour to, get ready because, I just can't, jump on a dick. I mean, I have to prepare myself mentally for that.
And clean yourself out and stuff.
Well, I mean, yeah, but I think that when he telephoned, I was just out running, so I mean, I was sweaty, and I was just thinking, I'm sweaty. I don't really necessarily want, to have sex after I was just jogging, And also, yeah, I mean, when you have someone in your apartment, I mean, if you have clothes lying around, you want to hang them, you don't want, you might want to wash the dishes, I mean, you want some notice, and you also just want to feel comfortable with yourself before